Since the dawn of time, humanity has been guided by laws and norms that shaped its social, cultural, and religious fabric. Among these, one rule stands out as both mysterious and enduring: the prohibition of pork consumption. This practice is deeply rooted in the Jewish and Islamic faiths, where it remains a divine command. But why did Christianity, which shares a common heritage, abandon this restriction? What historical, spiritual, and practical reasons lie behind the ongoing adherence in some religions and its dismissal in others? Stay with us as we unravel the history and meanings of this practice. And if you enjoy this content, don't forget to like and subscribe for more explorations of sacred texts and traditions. To understand the origins, we turn to the Old Testament, the foundation of Jewish law and a respected text in Islam. In Leviticus 11:7-8, the Bible states, "And the pig, because it has cloven hooves but does not chew cud, is unclean to you. Of their flesh you shall not eat, and their carcasses you shall not touch." This law was explicit, designating pigs as unclean. But why? The reasons were not just spiritual, but also practical. 1. Health concerns. Pigs were scavengers, eating scraps and carcasses, which associated them with filth. This diet made them more likely to carry parasites like trichinella, causing diseases such as trichinosis, a deadly risk, especially in hot climates like the Middle East. 2. Environmental context. For a nomadic people living in arid deserts, raising pigs was impractical. Unlike sheep or goats, pigs required more water and grain, scarce resources in that region. But reducing this rule to practical reasons alone oversimplifies its deeper meaning. In the Jewish tradition, laws of purity and impurity were tied to the spiritual realm. 1. Holiness as separation. The Israelites were called to live in holiness, distinct from surrounding nations. Avoiding unclean animals, like pigs, was a way to symbolize this separation and dedication to God. 2. Symbolism of purity. Pigs became a symbol of impurity, and abstaining from them reflected an inner discipline, an acknowledgement that God's commandments extended to all aspects of life, even dietary choices. Why Islam maintains the prohibition? Islam, which shares roots with Judaism, also strictly prohibits pork consumption. The Quran reiterates this in multiple verses, such as, "Prohibited to you are dead animals, blood, the flesh of swine." The reasons align with those found in Judaism, emphasizing 1. Submission to God's will. Abstaining from pork is a sign of obedience to Allah's commandments. 2. Spiritual discipline. Like in Judaism, purity in Islam extends to physical and spiritual cleanliness. Avoiding pork reflects a broader commitment to a lifestyle of discipline and faith. Why Christianity abandoned the prohibition? The early Christians inherited the Jewish laws, but later diverged. This shift is largely attributed to the teachings of Jesus and the apostles. 1. The teachings of Jesus. In the New Testament, Jesus emphasizes that purity comes from within, not from external rituals. In Mark 7:15, he says, "There is nothing outside a person that by going into him can defile him, but the things that come out of a person are what defile him." 2. A new covenant. The Apostle Paul further clarified that Christians were no longer bound by the dietary laws of the Old Testament. In his letter to the Romans, Paul wrote, "I am convinced that nothing is unclean in itself." This was part of a larger effort to make Christianity accessible to non-Jewish communities, many of whom did not follow the same dietary restrictions. Cultural and spiritual perspectives today. Today, the prohibition of pork remains a cornerstone in Jewish and Islamic traditions. For practitioners, it's not just about health or history. It's about identity, obedience, and faith. 1. Identity and tradition. Following dietary laws helps maintain a unique cultural and spiritual identity, especially in a world of increasing homogenization. 2. Faith and discipline. The practice serves as a daily reminder of one's commitment to God and the values of their religion. Meanwhile, Christianity views dietary choices as a matter of personal conscience rather than divine law, reflecting its broader emphasis on inner transformation over external rules. The prohibition of pork is more than a dietary law. It's a symbol of faith, discipline, and cultural identity. Whether upheld or abandoned, it reveals how deeply intertwined our spiritual beliefs are with our daily lives. So, Why do some religions still follow this rule while others have moved on? It's a question of history, tradition, and faith, each uniquely shaping the practices of its followers. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you found this discussion insightful, please like and subscribe for more explorations into the fascinating intersections of history, culture, and spirituality.